Alrighty, Travis Wayne Goodsell. So, with last night's one video split into two today, the day's all done. So, we'll do another comment reply video because the comments keep coming in. Got to keep up on Jasmine. I have been watching La Brea Season 2 as I finally found a British version that would play and be convertible into an MP4 format, digital format, so that I can watch it and not have a huge, massive walls of DVDs. Because back in the days of VHS, that's what we did. We just collected movies when they were available for sale and stocked up in our places. I remember in Canada, I went to a person's home and they had a huge old pile of VHS tapes there in their living room. And I looked at that and I went, oh, yeah, they got a good starter collection. Yep. So, on La Brea, spoiler alert for those of you who haven't watched it, and if you haven't been watching it, you're not going to watch it. So it's not a spoiler alert for you. They're at the point now where the tower was blown up, and so they're stuck there, as they suppose, and so they have a person who recommends holding elections to see who can rule over everybody. Who wrote this script? Dear God. There's only about 25 that are in the community, if that at all. I'm looking at the video here, the screen where I paused it, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just, dear God, nowhere near enough to justify having a Republican Constitution form of government. In that situation, as small as it is, you need to make sure everybody has their basic needs met equally. You know, obviously an adult eats more food than an infant, and different kinds of food. That's not what equal means in this particular case. But, yeah, everybody needs food, clothing, shelter, communication, transportation, energy and fuel, and those basic hierarchy of needs. You're going, I don't recognize some of those being on the hierarchy of needs list, Travis. Yeah, because the person who did it is a psychologist and he's stupid. Don't listen to psychology. They don't know how to do things. They purposely get you to do what they want you to do. So, yeah, it's like getting your mission call to New York, and you get the list of the required list, and you have to only bring what's on that list. You can't bring anything else on that list. And so you get into the MTC and you find out you don't have a towel because it wasn't on the list. Or a CD player, or not a CD, a cassette player, so that you can play the cassette tapes that come with the missionary guide. And so, yeah, it's just a matter of making sure everybody has their basic needs. And then once everybody has their basic needs and it's secure perpetually, then you can work on prospering, letting people do what they want to do, what they're good at, what they like to do, and use that to help contribute to the betterment of the rest of the group. It's real simple to build a civilization. I've never played the Sims games, but Sid Meier's Civilization, and I prefer 3 complete. Sid Civilization 3 complete. Because it has volcanoes erupting. It's awesome. But anyway. But with my junior high experience in social studies class, where the students were chasing out teacher after teacher after teacher, finally we got an authoritarian to put us in our place, and he decided to scrap the textbook for the class, and he had us develop our own civilization, which was awesome. Finally, I'm being taught at my level of intelligence. But I learned how to build a civilization. Real simple, real easy. Design a flag and all sorts of stuff. But I even invented a board game thanks to Sid Meier's Civilization 3 Complete. That's what helped me figure it out. I'd been working on it since high school after my big 86 dreams, and finally figured it out. And so I know all about building a civilization, and so it is frustrating to see other people who become popular and don't have a clue. So let's get to the comment replies and see how many Jasmines we can go through. So we'll start with the earliest ones, as the brand new video I just barely put up, dealing with unintelligent Mormonism. Mark responds, "Good one, Travis, calling me a fuzzball." You're welcome. And he also replied, "Elder Gong should be excommunicated. Actually put to death. Let me explain." Because he is married to a white woman. This is in violation of the Mormon teaching of not to marry out of your own race. Mark is correct on this. This used to be the policy in the church, especially under Brigham Young, who established it. And it wasn't excommunication, it was the death penalty, especially if a white woman was married to a black man. Both of them get murdered. That's why they had the penalties in the temple, the blood atonements. And so Gong, in violation. And so they're just trying to show that we're no longer racist. I have the audio tape. I've put it in videos on several occasions. I just can't get people's attention for it. President Russell Marion Nelson, when he was an apostle, and I think it was a BYU devotional, telling those little kids who apparently are able to graduate at 16 years of age here in the state of Utah, go straight to BYU as 16-year-old kids. Jailbait. And he's saying that very same thing. Don't marry anybody else other than a white Mormon, because anything else makes a marriage more complicated and difficult to maintain. So I'll let James and Jasmine be the judge of that, as to whether that's accurate or just flat out stupid. And I'm willing to bet it's the latter. And so, yeah, that's something the little teeny boppers these days don't know. The dark side of Mormonism. Maybe that should be the title of this video. The dark side of Mormonism. Dark side of Mormonism. Because the empire with the Sith Lords have taken over Joseph Smith's church. It's in the learning of the Jews. Who did you think was the creator of it? Who did you think the Jedi represented? Just adjust the vowels and it becomes Judah. And so Jasmine has a simple little link. It says, "Hey Travis, just for you." That was awesome. Thank you. Redheads. So many beautiful women in the world, and not a single one of them like me or want me. So sad. But I'm still waiting for the flooding of my email. I have yet to see that happen. See, my intention is because of the video technology that we have today, I collect videos and pictures and GIFs, and then convert the GIFs to videos. And the idea is not just to keep them separated, even though that's all I can do right now is collect. But eventually, if I am able to retire, live in peace and safety from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, that I would be able to go on and do the project that my mom had done for me with the Sears catalog. And that is make collages and such. And so with the modern technology that's far advanced from just a magazine and a Sears catalog, I can do edits of the videos and take snapshots and then take the pictures and do various editings of those and so yeah, there's lots that I can do with the modern technologies we have now, but it's just a matter of having the time. But Mormons need to be saved, and since we're not dead yet, got to see if we can save anyone on their deathbed. But that's the thing, though, is that Mormons who find me in the final 2 minutes, they have to begin from the beginning to learn everything anew from what the church misled them with, miseducated them. And so it's going to require people who acknowledge that they've been miseducated and are humble enough to know that they need to be taught correctly, similar to the poor Zoramites who are kicked out of their civilization and fortunately came across Alma and Amulek rather than the Lamanites, so that he can teach them how to learn how to learn. So, but then there's James and Jasmine who are doing just that. And they're not even Mormon. Why can't Mormons be like James and Jasmine? I don't understand. There's a Richard Berry who made 2 comments on a Jasmine comment that I had approved 3 days ago, which most likely means I just got to it this morning. It was actual Mormon comments about Book of Mormon. His first one was, hers was, I'm confused, but that's normal for me, in doing some Joseph Smith history and why he was hated on so much. On the church website, I was reading about Parley P. Pratt. Okay, now I recall. And so Richard Berry is replying, apparently no comment, LOL. I did a whole video, dumbass. And so he's now trying to think that he can add to James and Jasmine rather than making his own separate comment, which is a common thing of trolls. They know that regular creators allow for all comments, and that doesn't notify me when you comment on somebody else's comment. But I hold all comments for review, so thus I see Richard Berry, and thus I can protect Jasmine from dumbasses and haters for that very reason. And so he's not been watching my channel to see that I have a whole playlist for Jasmine questions. And so he thinks it's funny that there's no comment. I did a whole video for her. But he's now sharing his life. But my daughter and I were recently approached by two Mormon ladies. And they should have passed you off to the elders, because you're a guy and they're sisters. There's rules and regulations. That's why the two elders are seeing James and Jasmine, because of James. And that's why I warned Jasmine that if the elders bring in a female into the equation, and technically they're not supposed to just bring in a regular one woman, because she can't be alone with the missionaries either, or with you guys. It's possible with James around that another woman can be brought in, but she'd have to come to wherever you guys meet, whether it's at the church or at your home, alone, separate from the missionaries. The missionaries cannot bring her. It's a sex hedge to protect from sex sins. And it can be good, and yet at the same time, as the Pharisees use their hedge laws to hate. And so yes, there's a lot of hate that goes along with the hedge laws of Mormonism as well. But I caution Jasmine when a Relief Society president or a woman in the ward contacts her by phone or comes over to visit just her. Or if a husband and wife from the local ward are with the two elders. Because now they're pulling out the big guns to try to get you into the church. And today's Sunday. You said Sundays and Tuesdays are when they arrange the meetings with you guys. So we'll see what happens after today, what they did to you. But anyway, this other guy, he's in Beaver Creek, Ohio, and wanted to invite us to their church. So we met up, so it was small talk for the most part. So I asked them some questions. They tell me they're from Utah and on a mission here in Ohio. Very nice, but definitely something off. I felt, and they kept texting to set up time to meet again to talk about the church and religion. Yeah, that's what they do. They're missionaries. What did you think they were doing? Hey, you want to go to a bar? Hey, there's this nice restaurant in town. Seriously, dude? Do you not understand religion? Do they not have that in Beaver Creek, Ohio? And then he continues with another comment, as he did a ... on the first one. He's probably using a cell phone to text. He says, but I'm the kind of guy that likes to do my own research. And apparently you don't do research because you didn't know that I did a whole video to reply to her comment. That goes for anything, no matter the subject matter. We'll approve them, but the dark side of Mormonism. Okay, so we don't need to do that one because I already approved that one. Let's publish and then go back to held for review. That should delete it. We got a new one that just popped up 4 minutes ago. Valentine Wiggums. Are you Chief Wiggums' uncle? It was there, I had to say it. You probably get that all the time. He asks, you're a Mormon? Are you imposing your standards and values of Mormonism on me? I mean, seriously. This is the dark side of Mormonism. They don't understand that there can be different personalities, different natures and characters from different cultures around the world. Because Mormonism here in this valley was isolated from the world on purpose by Brigham Young. He was holding Mormons hostage. As a result, Mormons don't get to learn about humanity, about the world. They are isolated and told what to believe by the prophets of the church. And so it wasn't until 1951, approximately, when the first temple outside of North America was built. It was the Swiss temple, I believe it was. We can Google search it. The church would have it up for us because that's where my associative memory remembers it from. The first temple outside of North America. That's the United States. The Hawaiian temple. Let's try outside of the United States and North America. God, I still put the Hawaii temple. God. So now we'll have to go to the Church of Jesus Christ Temples.org. Look at the chronological temple list. See if we can figure it out. Dedicated temples in operation from number 1, which is St. George, Logan, Manti, Salt Lake, Hawaii, Cardston, Alberta, Mesa, Arizona. See, Hawaii was the first one out of Utah. Cardston was the first one out of the United States. And Idaho Falls, Switzerland. Yeah, Bern, Switzerland. Number 9, 1955. So I was wrong on the date by 4 years. David O. McKay. So there you have it. And then New Zealand was number 11 because the Los Angeles Temple was number 10. And it was right there in my birth month. March 11th through the 14th. That was the dedication. 3 days for dedications, huh? And so you come to one video, Chief Wiggums' relative, Ralph Wiggum. Maybe you're Ralph Wiggums. Well, you do say Valentine. Are you a cousin? It's The Simpsons. In case you didn't know. So all of a sudden my associative memory brought up Simpsons episodes with Ralph Wiggums. They're hugging. There's one episode where it was Bart and Lisa or some of the main characters, and you see them in the foreground. They're having the discussion. But you had to carefully watch the background. There's Ralph Wiggums spinning in circles, lost. You cannot just listen to The Simpsons. You have to watch, and you have to watch carefully. It's even best to have it slow-mo so that you don't miss anything. It is just too bad that they didn't want to make videos or DVDs of those series, so my collection ends in 2021. That was weird, because they did 2021 and then went back and got 2019. Because apparently they forgot that they didn't put out 2019. Because the 20th was the big anniversary one. And so they put that out before 2021 and 2019. But, dear God. And now that they're with Disney, they'll never do DVDs. That's where shows go to die, movies go to die, to not have merchandising. And it's just stupid. Disney knows about merchandising. They know that's the biggest revenue. And yet, they're doing away with merchandising. They used to have at the Cottonwood store, a Disney store, at the Cottonwood Mall. Not anymore. Gone. It's all Disney Plus. Pay to stream what we tell you to watch. It's just so backward that they think that they're going to make more money this way. And yeah, I guess if they don't consider we the customers and worry about stock investors, sure. And so yeah, this was terrorist put assassination hit on Travis Wayne Goodsell over Jewish Book of Mormon. And Mr. Wiggins is asking if I'm a Mormon. The dark side of Mormonism. Dear God. Alrighty. So, the oldest Jasmine comment is Jezebel. I see Jezebel in there. Cool. Although we're at 30 minutes, we did... is this going to be something that is going to be like last night? If that's the case, I need to know now. And probably, look at that, look at you. You were awesome. You're studying Greek. That is, you were perfect. Oh my God, that's awesome. Jasmine is studying Greek. So yeah, we have to save that one. Let's see if we can find some quicker ones to finish off this video with. James asked questions about Mormonism, investigating Sidney Rigdon. That was the previous one also, was on the same video. OMG, Travis, I am sorry, but I have another question. Don't say you're sorry, it's a sign of weakness. You are clearly not weak. You do not need to say sorry to me. You're like J.G. Wentworth. When you speak, I listen. Trying to educate myself. I think those commercials haven't been around since the 80s. Maybe into the 90s, I don't know. I was up in Canada with a family then at that time. Trying to educate myself in the learning of the Jews. Why aren't you a Mormon, Wiggums? She's not a Mormon, and she knows how to do it right. I discovered the Jewish Virtual Library. I was reading on Gematria. Oh my God. Jasmine is learning Greek. She's learning Jewish Kabbalah. Oh my God. Perfect. 1 in a million girl. Dear God. Oh, James, you are the luckiest man in the universe. Do not let her go. That is one of the languages you deciphered, right? No, Paleo-Hebrew. Gematria is one of the techniques in Jewish Kabbalah. This is where you attach a number value to each letter of the Hebrew alphabet. And when you combine the letters into words, you then add up the number value, and you're able to see what other combinations you can come up with, and that's supposed to have extra insight into the one particular word. This is where Revelation 13 talks about the number of the beast is 666. But that's just the Roman numerals, IVX, LCD, M. No M, though, because that's 1,000. And so there's some problems with this, as I see other people making the attempt to use Gematria to do videos on the hidden meaning of the scriptures. You have to understand that the Bible that they're using is not in accordance with the Dead Sea Scrolls texts, which are the closest to the Masoretic text. And so if you're using any other version of Hebrew, you are creating a whole new Gematria equation. Plus, as I did the video, and that was the whole big thing of why I deciphered Paleo-Hebrew in the first place, is that Joseph Smith said that the B at the very beginning isn't supposed to be there. Somebody put it in when it wasn't supposed to be there in the original text. And I've found out he's right. And confirmed it when I found the actual pic of the Dead Sea Scroll page of Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. And I had recently brought that up again too, when I showed you my translation of the rest of Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, and then the one about Yah is light, in that particular version that I used for an older video. And I didn't want to redo it with other information for that video. I just got lazy and found the old picture. But when you use the original document, of which the Roman period authors who wrote John in the first place, then you can understand what they were referring to. But in the Book of Mormon, Joseph Smith Sr. tells us that the Jews looked beyond the mark, looked for things that were hidden and created knowledge that wasn't there at all. Gematria is used that way, to create meaning and hidden knowledge where there really isn't any. But it is interesting. I have caught Joseph Smith Sr. being knowledgeable on Gematria. And so I would eventually it's added to the list of projects to work on, the volume of books of projects to work on, in which I would go through the Book of Mormon and check the Gematria. But you have to understand that it's English. And yeah, there are people who use Gematria on English. There are people who use Gematria on Greek and Aramaic. But again, it's higher level learning. So just understand that. Sure, Madonna went into Jewish Kabbalah so that she can learn the hidden secrets of Gematria and others that I've done videos explaining Kabbalah for you. But the Tree of Life in the Book of Mormon is Jewish Kabbalah. And that's the main one. And as Joseph Smith Sr. was the one who rewrote the 116 pages, and he put that in there, not because it was his dreams. He's trying to teach Jewish Kabbalah to us as well, as Prophesy of the Latter Days, which was also part of Jewish Kabbalah, with astronomy in Revelation as well. Revelation 12 and 19 specifically, and there's some other stragglers here and there. But those are the more blatantly obvious dates that he is giving of the future. And Joseph Smith Sr. knows about those, as the Joseph Smith translation clearly indicates for us, as well as Joseph Smith Jr.'s other documents in the Doctrine and Covenants and the Joseph Smith history and the Book of Abraham, as well as in the Book of Mormon. They know. Alrighty. And so if you want to learn Kabbalah, stick to understanding the Tree of Life. That would be my recommendation. Gematria is higher level, and you need to make sure that you got the right text, and it doesn't exist. It's what I just obtained, but need to have it converted to Paleo-Hebrew. Paul was asking me for the next project, and I was about to give him one, but I have to find the document. But yeah, I could do that too, once I give him the font for Paleo-Hebrew, and that would be an eventual one. So Paul, I know you're listening, even though YouTube for some weird reason blocked you from signing in. Just know that there are still a lot of projects that I could use your help with. That's one of them. And so, yeah, part of the research I did was devoweling Brown, Driver, and Briggs. And then using that to do my vocabulary tests. And that's how I know about prefix and suffix determinatives for the different languages back in those days. As I think it was the Tamar video, I go over the 3 different languages of the one word. What was that one? Oh, Pharez. Yeah. I went over the name Pharez, the son of Judah. Yeah, son of Judah through Tamar. And in Paleo-Hebrew, Semitic Hebrew, and Aramaic. So, yeah, decipherment is making a discovery of a dead language that nobody else knows how to read or translate into. That's decipherment. Gematria is a technique in which it's a coding where you apply number value to it and then create new words. You can use that for secret communications so that your enemy doesn't know what you're talking about. It can be used for that purpose. Unless they know Gematria as well, and then they can decode your message, and then they can spoil your war strategy, and blah, blah, blah. So Gematria is just a coding, a secret coding, whereas decipherment is actually learning the language and knowing what it means, similar to our alphabet. Somebody had to come up with it, and so that's why we go to school, is to learn the alphabet first, and then we learn words, and then we learn sentences and meanings and sentence structure and grammatical terminations and all sorts of other stuff. Conjunction, junction, what's your function? He was a hairy bear, he was a scary bear. Adjectives. As Jasmine had just recently found the Schoolhouse Rock shows. Alrighty, 41 minutes. Okay, terrorists put assassination hit on me. Jasmine is now saying, "Hey Travis, Catherine Bach was the original Daisy Duke. Then Jessica Simpson." Yep. Yeah, I knew Jessica Simpson. I didn't remember her name. I do have the whole collection of movies and the TV show. I haven't gotten around to watching it though, but yeah, it's in my digital files. Played in the first movie. Her boots were made for walking. That is an awesome video. Dark Side of the Moon. Let's do that one. I believe I have Jessica Simpson's music collection. I'd have to check to make sure, but Simpson, because it's the same thing as the Simpsons that I've been talking about. See how it all ties together? Boots were made for walking. She has another one that I really like too, that I don't remember the title of it offhand, but then April Scott played in the second movie. Yeah, I saw her picture too, but she wasn't wearing the Daisy Dukes, and so I didn't add that one to this, whereas I would have put her in the third position rather than two Jessica Simpsons. But yeah, I do have that video too. I'm sure I do. Otherwise, I could check. So it's a D, and it'll be up at the front if there are any extra outstandings. Nope, I got them all, because I do not have them in my listing. Because I went through and dear God, and made sure to find out what I was missing, what needed to be upgraded. And Yep. So, got the whole collection. Alrighty. How many miles a day do you run? It's a little over a mile from the Google Maps. I checked. The West Valley, I was able to go down and back for 1 mile, and at the end, by the tracks, it's had a slight incline. This here, I don't have an incline anymore. But with the damage that the church did to me with the shelter, I've had to rebuild myself into the Bionic Man again. I have that collection too, and both of the Bionic Woman. Steve Austin. And so, yeah, I would hope to be able to work myself up to doing 2 laps to 2 miles, but I'm getting older, and when I get attacked by the church, sets me back, and I have to rebuild myself again. Very frustrating. But yeah, I used to be able to do 5 miles normally. I was a runner in junior high school. There's Carrie Bell, who commented on terrorists put assassination hit on me. They run the world. Almost everyone in office has dual citizenship. I'm an ex-Mormon, but I enjoy listening to you from time to time. Just time to time. I'm not sure about they run the world, other than, yeah, the church does. I've done those videos. They are in control of the world. They are paying the Judas price to get things done in the world. They paid for the war in Ukraine. They paid for the war against Israel. I've got the connections. I've seen the church news. I made the connections. Got the documents. Got the financial receipts. And Mormons just, they read, ponder, pray, get the right feeling. And just like Karen, you know, the news is now getting members' feelings about the new appointment, and they're still not calling it an ordination. And all these Mormons are just like, oh yeah, it's great, church is true, we got a new apostle. That's a non sequitur argument, if not a red herring. Nobody sees that he's from Saudi Arabia. That's a problem. You know, it would be like, you know, hey, he's from Russia. Oh, Vladimir Putin is the new apostle for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I should do that for the picture here. We'll see about that. Because he's from Saudi Arabia, why not put the prince? Because he runs Saudi Arabia and controls everyone in there. And if you don't do what he orders, you're dead. And so, yes, his parents, who are still living in Saudi Arabia, are under control of Mohammed bin Salman. The chopping up of Khashoggi, Jamar Khashoggi, the Washington Post journalist. And America's still doing business with him? It's just so sick and wrong. That was a declaration of war. So. And C.L. Baird, who shows to be a subscriber with a little lock on it. I guess that means subscriber. Publicly subscribed for 2 weeks. Yeah, the rest of you are not publicly subscribed. You're ashamed. You're hiding your subscription to me. On the video, LDS Church Missionary is not taking no for an answer. Yep, another one of Jasmine's pictures that she sent me. Hello, I'm an ex-Mormon. Okay, which means you were excommunicated. You didn't just leave the church like I did. I'm a former Mormon, but technically still a Mormon because my membership is still on the church's records. And for Judaism, I should probably bring this out. Judaism is both the religion and the culture, whereas Islam is the religion, Muslim is the culture. And that's what the church did not reveal when they did that little "We Are Muslim" pamphlets. It means you are Islam. And Islam has a very radical, extremist, terrorist content to it. And it's been exposed now, even though the press still do not want to pursue investigating that. That the whole purpose is to destroy Israel, wipe them off the face of the map and existence. And that's why all Islam is against Israel. But they're trying to distance themselves from Hamas by saying it's pro-Palestinians, which is a deception because the Gazans are on the front lines with Hamas attacking Israel. The news does not want to admit that. At 8 years old, baptized. Yep. And so most likely born in the covenant, or you were converted with your parents before you turned 8 years old, and so when you turned 8 years old, you then were baptized. I remember hearing things in there and just didn't ring correct to me, even at a young age. So at 12 or 13, I stopped going. Yeah, I remember hearing lots of things that I didn't agree with and were contradictory, but I wrote them down on the sacrament meeting flyer, and along with my little cartoonish practicing drawings, and had put them all in a pile when I got home. And in the 2000s, after I had done the vocabulary research, I looked at that pile and I thought, you know what, I should probably go through it, and used my computer and published Philosophy of Mormonism. And then a company said that if I paid them and gave them one of my books for free, that I could win an award. Needless to say, I didn't go for that. I do, however, believe there was to be a creator, and I do believe the Bible has to be real. No, don't fall for that. The Bible doesn't have to be real. It has to be in the learning of the Jews, because that was who the author was. Use the evidence, develop scientific-based Socratic method theories to run tests and get 3 confirmations for an established fact, which nobody gets taught in America. To the vast Gematrial anomalies. So you're not knowing how to do research properly, and you are also getting involved in Gematria. Well, I'm sorry, I trust Jasmine more than I trust you. That are too perfect to be designed by a human. Gematria was designed by a human. What are you talking about? And too vast to be happenstance. Dear God. I am curious if you believe there is a God. Seriously, you did not check out my channel? At least go to my homepage? Oh my God. This channel is explaining Joseph Smith and the Book of Mormon in the learning of the Jews. Oh, do they believe in a God? Oh my God. Calgon, take me away. 24 views in 1 hour for dealing with unintelligent Mormons, huh? Cool. Sorry to ask such a personal question. It was a quick and easy answer. since we don't know each other, but you seem to be very open to questions. Sure. I remember the grade school teacher saying there's no stupid question. I'm sorry, I've heard way too many of them over my course of my decades. It's when you don't do the research and you just throw something off the top of your head without any background research into the matter. Because questions are supposed to be from gaining information and then asking based on the information you received, not just throwing something out there that you didn't even bother to check first to see if there was a quick, easy answer for you. All right. That's the Jezebel one in the Greek. That's awesome. And wow, this is a long one. 18 hours ago. LDS Church missionaries not taking no for an answer. Hey Travis, a 10-hour buffer system? LOL. It doesn't make sense. It is YouTube. And when they do it, when I'm watching a video, they'll buffer my video. And then a little pop-up will say, experiencing interruptions? Want to know why? And you're supposed to click on it. I know exactly why. My speed for the internet is super fast. I shouldn't be having bufferings. You are the cause of my bufferings, YouTube. You're throttling me. Because of Ajit Pi. And now because of Ajit Pi, I saw in the news that different streaming services are now joining forces to create bundled packages, which is exactly why Ajit Pi did away with net neutrality for that purpose. It's just going in the wrong direction because those streaming services are not getting the money they want. They're crashing and burning because they're not doing merchandising. They're relying on streaming. Disney. And so, yeah, this is the end of streaming services, is what you're witnessing here when they're trying to bundle up now. Bye-bye. Should have stuck with DVDs. Because you'd be getting my money. But nope. They think they're going to run it all into the ground, and then we're not going to have anything. Because seriously, if these companies go bankrupt because they can't make enough money from streaming services, what are all the production companies going to do? They'll have no production company to do the movies that people are making now. You know, the new Aquaman movie. Oh no, there's no streaming service for you. Whatever are you going to do? And the concept of going back to where it was successful doesn't occur to them anymore. They've got the new technology. They're going to run it into the ground until everything is extinct. Remember when there used to be movies? Whatever happened to those? I don't see a question, so I think we can just read this and finish off for an hour here, because we're almost at 5 p.m. I promise you, Travis. I like that song too. Sawyer Brown. With this ring, I think it is. It's not a fake channel, and that was an awesome Reaper remix. That was awesome. Redheads and Reaper. It's not a fake channel. Oh, you're talking about yours. Okay, you've switched. Okay, at the first. If you want me to know that you're real, send me an email video of you, James. An actual video, not pictures, AI style, of you and James in a video. And I guess they have deep fakes, but, you know. At the first of the year, when I put my channel on social media pages, I should start getting followers. Right now we are just trying to get content up. They didn't even allow my thumbs up. I put a thumbs up on the Redhead Reaper video, and YouTube wouldn't show it, and wouldn't show that I was counted as a view. YouTube is screwing me over. I thought it was just on my videos, but nope, it's everybody's videos. Dear God, YouTube is out to get me. At the first of the year, social media pages, right now we are just trying to get content up so it doesn't look lame when it comes online. Now I have two problems. One, I haven't been a religious person till I got with James. He says he's non-denominational and just prays to God. This is the reason why I watch your channel and read. And my second problem is when you bring up the bad memories from the things I ask, I will... Oh, it's okay. I'm hardened. But yeah, the Christmas one is probably one of the bad ones, and the church and the damage they've been trying to do to me and murder me and such. But yeah, there are technically very few happy moments in my life, and so that's just the way it is. And Mormon girls are born and raised to look for a guy who is faith promoting. So I don't qualify. Telling the truth isn't faith promoting for Mormons. I will email you, but I love watching and listening to your explanations explain our confusions. Yeah, if you email me like I did the other time, I'll use what you email me with if it's appropriate and not too personal. I'll use it in a video. So if you want to keep the personal stuff on email, like the one video just for me, the redhead video, yeah, I didn't approve that because I don't want other people to know. That's for me and me alone, although they can find your channel and see it themselves. But yeah, that's a personal thing. Even the picture that I used for this, you notice I edited it. I didn't show the full picture, even though it's modest, even for YouTube, I think. But I purposely selected what to show of you that I wanted for the video thumbnail. And so yeah, both are fine. And so yeah, if you want to talk about other things, if you want me to go over Gematria with you in the email, go ahead, send it through email, because I can communicate Gematria through email better than in a video reply to your comments. And so if you ever bring up stuff about missionaries, then I can use that in video comment replies. So yeah, do both. Whatever you want, whatever you need. James keeps nothing from me and vice versa. I know what that one refers to. Oh, here we go. They have brought a woman with them once. She seemed like a nice lady at first. James came out. She was surprised I was with a 6'2" tall, 235-pound black man with a 16-ounce cup of coffee in his hand. He asked her about spirit babies. The guff. And if he was one of he And if he was, what planet did she think he came from? Oh, I have heard certain Islamic groups believe that the white man came from the moon, I think white men came from the moon and therefore were evil or something. I'd have to find which faction of Islamists they were that believed that. And then again, it could just have been my white supremacist childhood peers who were making stories up about Islam. But yeah, Joseph Smith even is claimed. It was a Danite. I did the research, did the videos. That there were Amish-looking people on the moon. And that Benson said that we'll never be able to travel to the moon because that's not part of God's plan to leave our Earth to colonize the moon or anywhere else in space. Dear God. Or no, it was Joseph Smith Jr. Yeah, it was Jr. in one of his books. Answers to Gospel Questions, I think. Yeah, okay. Anyway. I'm glad you got info for your experiment. Do what you need to get the view. Your information needs to be heard. So, yeah, email me too. I will respond. There are a few other guys who email me as well. And so we have our own personal communications back and forth. There's one particular guy who's been emailing me for years. And so whenever I find something out in the news that is right up his alley, I send it to him with, comments and a theme song and often pictures to go with it. Every person is different. And so, yeah, you guys are more than welcome to email me other stuff than what works for my videos. That's perfectly fine. I'm lonely. Alrighty. And so now we have the Greek Gematria that's left. Awesome. So that's for tomorrow.